Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the George Mossey Show. Hope you guys watched Love in Paradise, the finale tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Let's wait a minute because we need to get Cara and DeeDee in here. Cara's here. And we're going to get started. I'm really excited. This season it went by really fast. Like, I feel like this season, like, it's crazy. It went by so fast, but there's a lot to talk about, guys. So let's get started. Donna's here. What's up, Donna?
Hi.
Oh, hi.
How's it
Jennifer's
going?
here. Hey, Jennifer. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Where did DeeDee go? It said that she was here,
Oh.
and then I don't see her. DeeDee, what are you doing?
She's off having some heavy petting.
Oh, is that what it is? Now that she knows what it is, we're going to have to keep an eye on her. She's not going to know how to behave now.
Yes.
All right. Where'd you go, DeeDee? I'm going to need you to come back. It said that she joined. Hold on. Let me see if I can find her in
She's
here.
still in here.
Oh, let me just invite her then. There we go. Perfect.
What a night.
Judith is here. Yes, grab a drink, guys. This is going to be fun. There you are.
Hi.
Where did you go?
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
So the finale aired tonight. We didn't get Valentine and Carlos, but I think their story ended. Oh, funny story. So in the beginning of the season, Valentine DM'd me and said he wanted to come on and talk to me. So I went to message him today to see if he was still interested, and he unfollowed me. So apparently Valentine is not coming on the George Mossey Show because he don't like me. So I don't know what I did to him. I don't know, but he don't follow me anymore, and he didn't write me back. So I guess that's not happening. So we're just going to get one side of the story, I guess, because I think Carlos will come on and talk about it. So at some point, I pissed Valentine off. If anybody wants to DM him and ask him what exactly I did, that's fine.
Can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
We're Team Carlos. I can't message Valentine.
I mean, I was trying to be biased. I didn't realize that I was being, like, mean or harsh. So I was kind of surprised. I was like, whoa, unfollowed. And we have been talking since his first season. On Love in Paradise.
I was talking smack, and
well, what
so
does that have to do with me? We all are three different people with three different sets of opinions, right? Like, what's that got to do with me? You know, like, I didn't have an issue with them. I thought that they were both immature. You know, I was just super honest about it. I thought they were both immature. So
yep.
If he's pissed off at me because I call them immature, like, I just call it like I see it. And I'm very immature myself. So, like, I'm not calling you anything that I wouldn't call myself. I know for a fact I'm a very immature person. I do not act my age or my IQ. I'm a mess. And I'm messy and I'm petty and I hold grudges. So, like, I'm not saying anything about anybody that I don't do myself and I would call out myself for. Okay, but anyway, let's not get caught up on the people who don't like me. Let's just focus more on what happened tonight. So Scott and Lydia met back up after Liz left. So I have one little thing I want to point out. Did you notice that it had been 2 days since Scott and Lydia stopped talking? And then he said that Liz was there for 2 days. Wouldn't he have had to have booked her ticket prior to him ending it with Lydia? Because you can't really, like, instantly book a flight. Right? Is that, I don't think you can, but because he said that Lydia said it had been 2 days since he ended things, and Liz had already been there 2 days and left. So wouldn't that mean that, like, that kind of overlapped, right?
I didn't catch the math. I did not
that
catch
stood out to me because I was like, I've booked flights before, and, like, you can't just jump on a plane within an hour or two. You have to usually at least a day, at least 24 hours, right, to get a flight that you can make it on. That doesn't add up to me. I'm not sure. Where did Liz come from? Where is she from? She was from Colombia, right? Yeah, and she was going to the Dominican Republic. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that that flight was booked a little prior to him ending things with Lydia, right?
I think she was the backup plan, just in case Lydia didn't work out.
Yeah.
But do you think that he had booked her ticket before he even met Lydia?
Probably so. I wouldn't put it past him.
Probably booked your ticket after night one. I would have.
Okay, so Judy says Scott said don't follow the timelines from the show.
That makes
So, I mean, I do know that when they filmed, the timelines are different because everyone was filmed at different times. So it is difficult to get timelines on the show because, as you know, we saw Jessica give birth in real time. So we know the timelines are off. So I don't know. It just caught my attention. I'm not saying that he did book her ticket ahead of time. I'm just saying it caught my attention. So like Judy said, let's not bite too much into the timeline because it was filmed like a year or two ago. So we don't really know exactly how many days passed, but it was a little weird.
Yeah. I didn't catch the timeline, but that's such a good point. But I realize everything's filmed differently, but he said 2 days and Lydia said 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very strange.
Right. And she was only there for 2 days. So it's like, that's really interesting because like it would have been like she arrived the day that he ended it with Lydia.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that how the math would go?
I'm thinking maybe we don't have to see Lydia anymore. Last I saw her, she was laying in the ocean. So fingers crossed.
She was strong afterward. Like when Scott met back up with her and he was like, I just want to talk to you. And she was just like, no, I got a translator. I'm going to tell you how I feel. And I know Lydia's a very unlikable human being, but I did like the strength that she showed. And she was like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to find the right person. You know, I'm not going to let this deter me from finding love. Good for you. Like, I don't know who's going to love you, Lydia. That's beyond my control or knowing or knowledge. But good for you for being able to be strong and control yourself. Because, you know, Nicole couldn't control herself. She's just yelling and screaming and saying, like, at least she showcased a little self-control. So I see some growth in Lydia. None in Nicole, but a little growth in Lydia. She's doing a little better.
The only thing I liked about Lydia tonight is that she didn't bring Nicole with her.
Well, she even brought it up. She was like, I'm going to give him another chance to talk because when Nicole was there, she didn't let him get in a word. And it's true. Nicole doesn't let anybody have a conversation about anything. She gets involved and she starts yelling and screaming and you're not getting a word in edgewise. That's not a conversation. So she was like, I'll meet with him again and see if we can actually have a conversation, which they didn't, you know, even in being, because she didn't even really understand why he wanted to talk to her in the first place, because she said in the text message that he wanted a second chance. That's not what he told us, why he was meeting, you know, in his interview, like why he would wanted to talk to her, because he said, I want to be honest and I want to start giving women the information they deserve or whatever. That's not, do you think that he said, I want a second chance just to get her there?
I think he wanted a second chance to make amends. I don't think he wanted a second chance with her. I think that ship has sailed a long time ago and he knew that. I think there's a lot more to the story that TLC isn't airing.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, Jessica's here. Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
So we
Hi,
saw Jessica and Juan find out that it was a boy after they were pretty sure it was going to be a girl, because we know that Juan. Oh wait, you haven't watched yet? Oh, I don't want to ruin it for you, Jessica. She hasn't watched the episode yet. I don't want to.
I feel like she knows what happens.
Well, yeah, you were there. You were there. Okay, so yeah, you were there. So we were watching you guys find out it was a boy, and I know Juan wanted to have a girl because he wanted to name the. Guess who's here?
Hi.
Hi, Megan.
I'm so happy you guys had me join.
I'm so happy you're here.
We are very excited to have you on. As you know, we are fans. We are fans of you here at the George Mossey Show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have a lot of haters. I'm called Mossey and Megan on Twitter, so I'm like, ooh.
Oh my gosh!
What? Twitter is
so
a horrible. Twitter is a horrible place. Try to avoid Twitter as much as possible.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than Twitter, I think, is Reddit. Right? I think Reddit is even worse. Avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
So you found out some information this season that I think every best friend has to look out for their other friends and do. And you found it. And I wanted to kind of talk about how you did it, because we always hear about like people are very good at finding information online. And you're like CIA. You know, like you can find information that a normal person with a computer and Google can't find. So I kind of want to know your process. Like, how did you go about getting this information that was pretty well hidden? Like, it wasn't easy to find.
Yes. So when the girl reached out, which I just want to say, I don't even remember her name. Jessica has asked me to really move forward and leave it in the past. And so I'm respecting that. And I respected that a week after I found the information. I deleted her sister off Facebook. I don't even know her name. Like, I honestly really don't even remember it. And so just want to put that out there. I don't have the pictures anymore. I deleted them out of respect of Jessica and her relationship to move forward. I also had to move forward with it, which was super hard. I want to say I was pissed, to say the least, at Juan for months. I didn't even speak to him, honestly, for like months. Until we went to Colombia. So that, I mean, that is so true. I mean, that was our first real conversation. Me going to Colombia and talking with him was that time, because I was just so mad at him and just I didn't even like Jessica's pictures when they were in Brazil. I wouldn't even like the pictures that he was in because I was so mad at him. It was so petty, but yeah. Anyway, I went back and liked them since then just because I felt bad, but
That's all.
So how I found out, she had told me, she called me really pretty upset, obviously. And instantly I messaged Juan and did send some nasty text messages to him, pretty much calling him out. And this is so wrong. You have this beautiful family, beautiful woman, amazing, the most amazing person I've ever met in my entire life. So I was blood boiling, as you could imagine. And instantly just kind of dove in. My husband is actually an investigator for our local sheriff's office, and so it's in my blood through marriage, I guess you could say. And so I am an investigator, I guess, deep down. And it was just really pretty easy for me. I added her on Facebook and found her sister, I believe. It could have been her friend. I really don't know who it was. And then they added me back. And so before then, I wasn't able to see their profiles. But when they added me back, I was able to see pictures. And they had posted pictures of Juan and them on excursions together. And I was like, what? I am going to lose my literal mind. And so screenshotted those, sent those to Jessica, then they were able to talk about it. Basically, a week after then, Jessica went to Colombia, which she had already planned for like 2 weeks to go, and they were going to Brazil and Peru and all these beautiful places. And so they ended up going, and I really encouraged her to go because you can't really know someone, how they're communicating through text message or even video chat, and you just can't. You need that in-person communication, to say the least, or closure, or whatever it may be. And it ended up working out. I mean, he won her beautiful heart back, and he's a very lucky man. So,
Yes.
Yeah, and then past that, I mean, I just moved forward. She got back from Colombia and really stressed me. I just really need you to support me in this decision as my best friend, and I dropped everything at the drop of a hat.
So I'm glad that you covered something, because a lot of people at home thought that you had this information and you withheld it from Jessica. But you just said during this.
Guys, like, no, I swear I would never do that. And so when I heard that, I was like, no, I would not do that.
Yeah.
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 I'm glad that we covered that, because
it's hard. The show portrays a little bit differently, and so it's hard to portray to the viewers like this is 3 minutes of an entire week that we were there, or 3 minutes of a conversation. Is a whole thing that wasn't just 3 minutes. And so yeah, it was a beautiful experience. I loved being on the show. I loved filming. The film crew is amazing. Everyone, Tara Higgins is like the queen of all queens. I love Tara. She's the director of the show, and she is a goddess. So just love her and love the whole show, and just so great. And a fun fact, I'll give you guys a few fun facts, because a lot of people don't know these fun facts. When we went on the cruise in 2020, her and her ex-husband, Tim, were separated at that point. When we booked the cruise a year previous to 2020, they were together, very much together. And so we still decided, well, screw it. We're going to still go on the cruise. And so Tim was on the cruise when we met. So that's a fun fact.
What?
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tim
That's
met
crazy.
Juan and really appreciate Juan. And yeah, so, and Jessica and Juan have Jessica and Tim have an amazing co-parenting relationship. And yeah, so it's just couldn't be a more beautiful love story. And I'm so happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was tweeting that it seems like Juan and Jessica are going to be the only two that get a happily ever after at the end of the season. And I was really happy with that because I know the cheating allegations, it made people feel a certain type of way. And I love how you were able to move past it because I know as a best friend, you only want what's best for Jessica, and you were able to forgive him. And I think everybody at home are still holding grudges because, like, on Twitter and everywhere, they're like, oh, I'm so mad at him. Jessica's a good girl. She's a great woman. He should have never did that. And it's like, I love how you were able to just say, look, this is my best friend, and I'm going to support her regardless of how I feel. And I think that's what makes you a strong best friend, because I have friends that do things that I don't approve of.
Yeah.
But I support them, and if they need my help, I'm going to be there for them. And it's like, you did that. And I love how strong your friendship is, and you literally genuinely want Jessica to be happy. And I love that.
Yeah. She deserves literally the world and everything it has to offer. So I'm just so grateful to be her friend, and yeah, so grateful. She's the best human, and Juan really is the best guy. I mean, he is family. I mean, he's a good guy. He really has a good heart, and everyone makes mishaps, and if you are able to work through that, then that's not my decision. That's them. They are the couple. That's not my fiance. That's not my, and me and Jessica are total polar opposites. I trust no one. She trusts everyone. And so that's also really hard for me because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can ever trust him again. Like, I just literally, once someone breaks my trust, like, I cut you off. I block you. I literally delete you from my life forever. You're done. I won't have it.
Yep.
It's not serving me, and I'm not going to let you steal my peace. So, but
well, as you know,
he won my heart back too. So.
You know, we watch all of the shows, and we've seen a lot of different best friends that have just been a disaster. And from the very first minute, I was like, you handled it with so much grace, so much class. You didn't cause a scene. Didn't make it about you. I was like, everybody needs a Megan. Everybody.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. So sweet. You guys are so sweet. I just appreciate you so much. So grateful to have met you. Hopefully someday we can have a drink in person or something, because I would love that.
Absolutely. I hope so too. Thank you so much for coming on. We were really excited to have you on because you're a private eye, and if we ever need any information on anybody, you are the person we are going to call. Oh, and I saw somebody tweet. They were like, does Megan have a man? Megan is in a very happy and fulfilling relationship. So guys, Megan is only doing what's best for her best friend. She has a very healthy, happy relationship. For the people who were wondering, I saw those tweets.
The only
fact about our relationship, we will be married 6 years tomorrow and together 14 years.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Tomorrow's my 29th anniversary.
Oh, another 4th of July wedding.
Well, happy anniversary.
Happy
all these anniversaries going on. I'm jealous.
That's awesome.
The only person out there that can actually contact Megan is Riley, because he needs a PI.
Yes, Riley.
Okay, you call me.
He does need a PI.
Me and my husband both will help you out.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Happy anniversary and happy 4th of July. We can't wait. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll all cross paths in real life.
Yes. Someday soon, hopefully. Bye.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
She's seriously the best. I love her.
She is the best. Oh, thank you to Miss Debbie for coming in here and buying a badge. I saw you, Miss Debbie. Where's Julian at? I haven't seen him in a minute. Okay, so that was Megan. Oh, is Jessica still in here? Jessica, do you want to jump on? I don't know if Jessica wants to jump on or not. But is Carlos in here?
is here.
Carlos is here. So I don't know who wants to jump on next. But we would love to have another cast member jump on. Scott was here. Where did Scott go?
Scott started his own live.
Oh, he's on his own. Okay, because I was like, if Scott's here, he can jump on too. But I know we want to talk to Carlos, and if Jessica's still in here, we would talk to Jessica as well. Let me invite and see who wants to hop on. Okay, there's Carlos. Is Jessica? Oh, Jessica's gone. Juan's brother is in here though. Hey, Juan's brother.
Hi, Juan's brother.
Hi,
Juan's
one brother.
All right. So I sent an invite to Carlos, and I think Scott, where are you at? If you're gone, you got to come back in so I can invite you.
Let me see if what he's doing.
Is he said that he was going on live, so he might actually, like you said, be on his own live. And I follow Matthew, but there you are.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome.
Carlos. How you
I'm
doing?
doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right.
So you guys, I'm Team Carlos. I was actually Team Valentine and Carlos the whole time. Yeah, I was Carlentine. I was for y'all, but I am happy for you for choosing you, because you said on the episode, you were like, I'm gonna choose myself. I'm gonna choose happiness. I'm not gonna let anybody make decisions for me. And I think that is very important when it comes to marriages and relationships. But how hard was it for you to make that decision? Because we saw you have a straight-faced conversation with Valentine, and then afterward, you kind of broke down afterwards. So like, how was that releasing of Valentine from your life? How did you go about doing that?
Well, it was very hard. Honestly, it was. I was not expecting that. Of course, like, the only thing that I had on my mind was, my wedding day.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally, I think when the episode started, when I appeared on the episode, the first thing that I said is that I'm concerned about leaving everything behind, my family, my country, and move to a different country. So, and that was true, because that was what I had on my mind at that time.
Yeah.
So the idea of you having to leave your country and leave everything behind, and then him telling you who you could and couldn't be friends with, was that really the boiling point for you? You realized that you were going to be sacrificing more than you were willing to sacrifice?
Well, that I mean, what you just said, that came after we break up, because when we both break up, my point of breaking up with Valentine was precisely that he did not believe me. Like, when I said that I just move on with her and we were just friends, we were not having any intimacy as he said we had, which, we just became being good friends, really good friends. And I stand on my point, because that was the truth. Like, I didn't need to apologize for being myself and for being honest, because I didn't hide anything on that relationship, even when I was having feelings for her, or after, when we just moved on and we became friends. So I the truth the whole time.
Yeah. Now,
so
did Valentine cheat on you in the beginning? Is that what I remember? Was something about him cheating in the beginning?
Valentine?
Yeah.
No, the thing was that when the Michelle situation started, we break up. On that breakup, Valentine met another guy.
Oh, okay.
He started dating that guy.
Yeah, that was between the seasons, right? I remember that.
Yeah. And then that, they break up, that thing didn't work out, and then he just, we just get back together.
So
I see.
Okay, $1 million question. Are you and Valentine still friends, or do you talk at all?
No, we don't talk.
None.
Good.
Okay, so no more. So are you currently looking for someone new, or are you just in a transition period and taking your time? Like, what is going on with you right now?
I'm just, taking my time to be ready for my next relationship, and I'm dating somebody now.
Okay.
know, is something that is starting is recent, and I'm just giving myself another chance, to see what can happen.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. I'm so happy for you. I was just shocked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When you guys called the wedding off, I was very, very, very shocked. Like, because I've been watching you guys since the beginning. You guys have always had fights, nothing that you couldn't get over. So when you called the wedding off, I was like, oh, this has got to be some sort of production trick. They're definitely going to get married. So when it was real, it really hit me hard. I was like, wow, they're really not going to work out. And I really was rooting for you guys, honestly. But now that I see what happened and what transpired, I'm kind of happy that you both are seeking what you need individually. Because like you said, it wasn't going to work together because he didn't trust you. And if you're going to tell him the absolute truth, and he's not going to accept the truth from you, you can't build a marriage with someone who doesn't trust you, especially when you're giving up so much of your life, your family, your friends, everything about your life that you've ever known. You were going to leave for a person who doesn't trust what you say.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting in this, and funny at the same time? I don't know if you remember, guys, the first season when he had like his introduction that he said, hey, my name is Dada, I goes by Valentine. And then he said that he was looking for love because all the love that he had before was conditional and not unconditional. And I felt that he was giving me conditional love. I was, to what he wants me to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm so happy that you guys didn't work out. I'm sorry that your heart got broken in between, but you deserve so much more. So much more. And I was Team Carlos all the way. George and I went back and forth with him hoping you guys worked out. And I was like, I hope they don't.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I
was hoping for the best, and Cara was like, the best is what's happening right now and them not being together. She was like, I want Carlos to be happy, and in the end you are. And I'm just so happy to hear that you're seeing someone and you're moving forward. And you said in the one episode, you were like, I took what I learned from this relationship and I'm going to be a better man. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to take that into my new relationships, and I'm going to learn to love myself and choose myself, and always know no one can tell me how to live my life. Yep. They have to enter in my life with me, but they cannot control my life. And I think that knowledge that you got from this relationship is going to make sure that your next relationship is successful.
Yes. Like, this experience, this has been, the whole thing around the show has been like a beautiful experience to me. Like, I have been learning from this like a lot, and I have grown as a person, since this experience, not only because it's a new thing for me, but it's also to be able to see myself on the screen, and sometimes to hate myself, like how, like question myself from things that I did, that I said, like how cool I, say that or do that, like, but yeah, I'm just, going to move on. I already did, and I don't have any regret about anything. I don't have any regret about being with Valentine in a relationship. I'm all the opposite. Like, I'm grateful for that, because I learned a lot, and many beautiful things from this show and this experience has come into my life, and I'm just grateful for that.
Good.
So are you and Michelle still close? Did this like put a rift in your friendship? Because I know she did not like the idea that she thought she came in between you two. So are you guys still as close as you were?
Yes, we are still very close. Like, talk a lot. We see each other. Like, we go out. Like, it's been the same. Like, nothing actually changed.
Good.
See, I love that. I'm glad that nobody was able to get in between you guys. And when you said you were friends, that's what you meant. And that it shows that that's exactly how it is. Because no matter what came between you and Michelle, you guys are still close. Nobody can break that bond that you have. And I'd love to see the strength of that bond, because, some people would have felt like, oh, this marriage didn't happen because of me, and they would have got terrified and disappeared. Some people can't handle that. So it shows that you guys have that strong bond that you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, as I said before, I had to stand for who I am because you know I'm telling the world my life. I'm open my life to everybody, and you know I was myself 100% on the show, and what I say, what I stand for is the truth. And if something that is not gonna work in my life doesn't uh, you know see the life or see the things as the same way as I do, we're just not compatible and this is not gonna work out.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
like
next $1 million question.
in his case, this didn't appear on the show, but when we were arguing, I remember I mentioned that he invited one of his friends who he had something before, like they fought, you know, they did things, you know.
Oh, okay.
Was his friend. Now that he's his friends, and I was like, yeah, okay, you know, what happened happened. I mean, I slept with so many people before too, even though they know my friend. I did the same thing. Like I don't care. So because I trust him, like I trust him that they don't longer have that kind of relationship.
Yep. So next question that is just the burning question. Are you done with the series, or are you and your new love interest going to be on another season?
If you can even answer that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I don't know.
Will we
I don't
see
think
more
I
of
don't
you?
think
That's
he
all
can
I'm
answer
asking.
that.
Will we see more of you?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but hopefully.
Okay.
On Instagram, right?
Good enough.
Exactly.
We'll see you every day on Instagram.
Yep.
So my question is then, since you said what you just said, that he invited someone that he was in a relationship with before to the wedding, and it was okay, but it wasn't okay for you to invite Michelle. So how does that work? I mean, you didn't even, from what I could see, it didn't even upset you. It wasn't even a problem. He made the Michelle thing more of a problem than what it really was.
Yes.
So in other words, it was his way or no way, pretty much.
Exactly.
So wait, I wanna know one thing. Why did he feel that he couldn't trust you? Like, what did he feel like you had done to give him the feeling that he couldn't trust the words that you were saying? Because you were very open and honest with him about Michelle, and you were going to give him the opportunity to meet her and ask her the questions that he wanted to ask, but he just didn't want to trust what you said. What does he have trust issues? Was it always a issue with trust between you two?
It's the guilty person projecting that onto someone else because he's guilty.
Well, I don't think that you know, that's something very personal, and you know, I don't have to answer that. Actually, you can see that through on a screen if he has those kind of issues or not. I think that you guys, you are very analytic, and you know, you have been doing this for years. I don't know, and you know when you know, you can see many things through the body language and you know actions that you see on people on those kind of shows, and I think you know the answer, and everybody knows.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
So, are you open to love from someone in another country, or are you like focusing on people nearby? If you can answer that, because I don't know what your future plans are, but are you open to anyone in the U.S.? Because I know there's a lot of men in the U.S. who are like, Carlos is single right now. So I was just wondering, are you open to that idea?
And a lot of women too.
Or are you open to having a relationship with a woman?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, let's hear that one. I want to hear that answer.
Yes, of course. I'm you know, as I said before, I'm giving myself a chance to you know, to see what can happen. I mean, I just turned 30, and basically I'm just starting my life, and right now literally it's like I'm myself. I'm open. Like my family knows everything about me. Everybody who knows me knows everything about my preferences, and literally I just, you know, I'm just living my life right now. Like when I said I don't regret being with Valentine in the past, that's what I mean. You know, this relationship opened me a world that I didn't have access before. And I'm so grateful for that.
Well, I do remember you saying that that you do appreciate that Valentine helped you in a way to come out to your family. That he gave you the strength and the courage to do that.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard for, no matter if you're a man or a woman, to actually come out to your family. It's really hard, and to have someone be there to support you, and then show you how to, like, ways to do it. I mean, hats off to Valentine on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm proud of you. I've been watching you since the first time you and Valentine ever came on as well. So I was really rooting for you guys.
Yeah. So, but wait, I want to ask this. Do you think the timeline of when you came out to your family was made to happen quicker because you were with Valentine? Do you think you did it because there was a little bit of pressure for you to do it, or do you think you were actually ready?
I don't think like anybody's ready for that moment.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's why so many people is like in their 50s, 60s, and they are still in the closet because they don't feel that they're ready, because that's how it feels. We're not ready, never. And the fact that he came, yes, of course, pressure, but in a good way, because it helped me to face my fears and just go ahead and say, this is me, this is who I am, and this is the person that I'm loving right now. But hey, I also I'm open to love anybody. Doesn't matter what they have between their legs. I just
Exactly. And yeah, I like that. So it was a good type of pressure. It was a push that helped you become genuinely who you are.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you're happy and we're able
to.
Well, thank you.
We're very happy for you, and we're excited to learn at some point in the future who the special person is. But I know it's new, so you shouldn't be introducing them to all of us yet. I know it's a new relationship, so you haven't gotten there yet. But we're excited to see who the special person is in your life, hopefully on our screens or on your Instagram, wherever you want to let us into your lives. We're interested in seeing it.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Like, right now I'm very happy. I'm very, I'm glad that I could find somebody who vibe with me, and that I don't have to fight for anything. It's like, you feel that you release. Yep. And that person literally knows everything about me, and with no judgment, just
Yep.
That's the important thing. You need to be with someone who accepts you as you are. You shouldn't have to change who you are for anyone, because if they truly love you, they truly want to be with you, no matter if it's a man or a woman, they're going to accept the true Carlos.
Yep.
And not even ask you to change.
Exactly.
I love it. And they're going to trust you. They're going to trust what you say.
Trust. You need to have trust and communication. Exactly.
Yeah.
Team Carlos all the way.
Thank you so much,
Team
Carlos. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Love you. Anytime you want to come back, anytime, you're welcome. I hope you know that. Don't even have to ask. Just let us know you want to come on. You are definitely welcome anytime. And like I said, can't wait to see you again, whether it's on the show, Instagram, whatever. We're watching. We're fans. We're Team Carlos all the way.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Oh, hey, Jamie. Thank you so much. Jamie's Team Carlos, too, by the way. You see that? All right. I think April is in. Oh, wait. Scott's in here. April was here. I don't know if April left, because I know you guys have some questions for April, I know. Because there was a lot that happened with April this season. So I know you ladies have some things you want to take up with April, but I don't see her now. So let's get Scott in here real quick, because Scott has some things he wants to talk about as well.
Yes.
There you are.
And we're a tie.
Oh, you're all dressed up.
Excellent.
Okay.
Oh, I'm like naked. Look, I'm like naked.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I can't wear a shirt. I don't like wearing shirts, but I figured I'd put on a jacket and a tie.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate dressing up for us. So
yeah, this is it. There you go. We're all like, what do you got?
On the episode tonight, we saw you go back and have a conversation with Lydia. And a lot of people on Twitter were like, what was the purpose of that? Because people were like, you texted her and said you wanted the second chance, but then when you got there, you kind of wanted to tell her, you know, the truth and be honest and open. So what was the purpose of like having that meeting with Lydia at the end? Because a lot of people were confused by that.
I just felt really bad about it because I feel like, you know, I wasn't trying to get her back. I really was just the good intentions of just being honest, because I feel like that's all I have left. I mean, I don't have money, so at least I can be honest. And I just feel like she deserved to know everything that went on with Liz and everything. And of course they edit and everything, but forgive me. And I just felt like we spent a year talking and texting and stuff. And I mean, I just felt bad about it. I just wanted to let her know that I'm really sorry about the way things ended up.
So
okay, I like that.
The show that made the timeline look funny, where you said it was 2 days and she said it was 2 days, none of that added up the way they aired it.
Can't talk about production stuff.
I got.
Oh yeah, yeah. Can't talk about the way it was filmed, but we can.
I'm not gonna,
yeah,
you know.
All I'm asking is, it was the way it was aired, not the way it came out. It was just the way it aired. Am I wrong?
I can't talk. I'm not comfortable talking about timelines, guys.
That's fine.
I will talk about my intentions were to just follow up with her, because you talk to somebody for a year and it definitely warranted. I was still in the DR to meet with her and talk to her, and maybe the possibility of that maybe we could take things more conservative and get to know each other, but it wasn't like a rebound thing. I just made it very clear I want to be friends with you. Maybe down the road things could possibilities, but at least I had the closure with Liz, you know. Yeah. But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about real quick some of the things that transpired after.
Okay.
Like, we're not done. Liz and I end up spending Christmas together. Okay. I proposed to her. I gave her a $10,000 ring, an emerald. She accepted it on Christmas Day. We were together. We had another fight, but this time it was in Ecuador, and it was we had just I had a lot of unanswered questions about money and things not adding up. The only thing I will touch on, tread lightly on, is the fight that we had a lot to do with the fact that the day, the 4-hour drive in the van, I was saying I love you and stuff, but I was in a very emotional place because my aunt died that day. She was 89 years old. They didn't talk about that. My aunt died. And I just found out the news when we had a signal, and she was really not consoling me, and I was really upset about that. And that stemmed to the fight in the hotel.
Okay.
And it wasn't about me being clingy. It was about just the fact that her insensitivity for everything I've done for her, and the money, a lot of questions about the money, things that weren't adding up. And I'll go into more detail at another time. Like, I don't want to take up, I know a lot of people want to jump in on the call, but I'd rather do it another time where we can get into Lydia, we can get into Liz, we can get into more things like that. But I have an NDA, you know, I don't want to,
right.
I get very lightly here because, you know, there's other things going on, you know?
Yeah. We'll definitely do another live, you know, because I know NDAs are important that we follow, because there are some things I want to talk to you about. I know there's some voice notes or whatever, and I want to talk about that, but I want to make sure we can talk about it. So we'll do another live maybe tomorrow where we can address a little bit more. Okay. That way I have, you know, more info that we can touch on and what we can touch on.
I'll say a couple things. We were together at Christmas time. We had a fight. I went back to Florida. In March, around her birthday, her birthday is March 6th, she sent me pictures that she's wearing the ring. She tells me she still loves me, wants to be with me. And I do some crazy shit. Like, I send money. I was going to bring her through Mexico illegally with a coyote for $3,500 and an $800 ticket. We had another, it didn't materialize though. I mean, it was crazy. I'm not walking around with a full deck of cards, you know, like maybe it's the stroke, whatever. I don't make great financial decisions. I am filing bankruptcy for the 4th time every 9 years. I've fucking suck with money. I'm horrible with money. I make it and I spend it the wrong ways, and I've done a lot of stupid things. I take ownership. Maybe the next person that comes into my life, I have earning potential. I can do other things, but right now I'm so far in debt. I've got about $25,000 of credit cards. I have $30,000 of medical bills from the stroke I had because I was as an RT from one contract to another, but I didn't take the COBRA. So the stroke happened in between the contracts. So they're coming after me for all of that. And then I had $20 sign-on bonus. I took to this hospital that I tried to work a couple days, and I was working in a critical care setting, and patient lives matter, and I'm forgetting things and tasks and how to assemble equipment and put somebody from a BiPAP to a ventilator or different things. People don't realize that it's a lot more than what you're seeing here. Like,
right.
I'm broke. Like I have anxiety, I have depression, I forget things, I have a speech impediment now. There's a lot of people that don't see other than like me being quick-witted with comments or sarcastic stuff when people are trolling me. It's a lot more than that.
Right. So what, you sent her the money to come here, Liz. You sent Liz the money to come here, and then she just essentially ghosted the second time.
Give her the $3,500. She's gonna come through Mexico and all that stuff, and that, and then $800 ticket. And then for the next couple of days, I barely heard from her. And then I called her up. I'm like, listen, you say you love me, you want to be with me, and we're gonna be together, and I'm gonna come get you in Texas and all this stuff. And I'm barely hearing from you. She said, fine. So we had another fight. She hangs up, then she blocks me, and then she send the money back through Western Union. She doesn't send the money back. So I was out another $500 plus the $800 ticket to Mexico.
Yeah.
And people are freaking honest. What do you want?
Yeah.
I was going to do something illegal. I didn't, but I was going to do something illegal. That's how much I fucking love this girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did you give her more money? Because I've heard the rumor that like after the show ended, you gave her more money. Because I said that I heard that you.
Christmas time, I bought her family. I bought a couch, living room set, toys for the kids. We had a nice Christmas time together, and then I bought her an iPad, a phone, headphones, some cash here and there. Yeah. Then I sent her another $4,000 in March for the Coyote, and then the ticket to come through Mexico, but I never got the money back. And then I gave her $200 for Christmas, not including that money, so she'd take her family, her sister out for a nice dinner on her birthday. And then by the time my birthday came around March 23rd, I didn't hear from her.
Oh my gosh. Scott.
I just want to address a lot of the comments that are saying that he jumps from one woman to another very quickly. However he does it is his choice. But everybody has to remember that this wasn't filmed last Sunday. Like,
right.
There's an extensive amount of time in between filming and airing. So it's not like
a production. Say that I did spend Christmas with Liz. How about that?
Right.
Yeah. So it's a while. So
I want to talk about. Can we wait? I don't know if we can. Can we talk?
Go ahead, real quick. Go ahead.
Can we talk about Tiffany Franco?
Yeah, we can.
So I've seen some videos of you, and she said that she's willing to meet with you and get to know you if that comment got to 1,000. Right. So I haven't seen the comment.
I had like 2,000 comments. And I do have her number, and I am texting her, and I did talk to her, and I'm going to hang out with her. So people can say what they want. It is going to be a date. And, they're like, oh, it's this, it's that. It's like, listen. And that's not the only person. I got somebody else that from the 90 Day Fiance family I'm talking to as well.
Okay. I see.
I mean, I'm not exclusive with her. I'm just saying, I'd love to get to know her, but, she could be in another country, for example, like Colombia. You never know. Or somewhere else. You never know.
Okay, I see what we're saying here. Okay, so I'm interested in that because Tiffany is beautiful and she's a firecracker.
All kidding aside, like, listen, all my eggs are in one basket. I'm saying that other people have reached out to me from the 90 Day Fiance family, like other people, like collaborations, not to like hook up, but like I love doing parodies and collaborations. And then there's been 1 or 2 people that I've been talking to just as friends, but I think there could be potential. But right now, I'm focused on finally meeting Tiffany, going up to Maryland, and having her apply makeup to me, and hang out. Yeah, be cool. And listen, if it doesn't materialize, that's fine. Like, but you know what? I'll have closure because I think she's a really cool girl. I think she's really beautiful. And hypothetically speaking, if the ingredients were there and we had chemistry, no, I'm not going to be a womanizer. I'm not going to play around. I would give 1,000% effort to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that you
Show up with this jacket and this tie. Flower.
I think that you've made it clear that you are definitely looking to settle down. I feel like that's kind of what you've been focusing on, because everyone's like, oh, he's a womanizer. He goes from woman to woman. I think it's pretty clear he's trying to find a serious relationship. I think it was very clear with Liz, you were doing everything that you could to make a serious relationship with her.
Last episode, I was completely honest to Lydia. I told her I was crying about Liz. I was like, I really loved her. I feel like I get faulted for honesty. Like, people want me to be a liar. And then let me tell you something. When you go on reality TV, you remember on the first episode, I talked about being a player, a lot of hookups, a lot of one-night stands, and all that stuff. They are all coming out of the woodworks, man. Because TV, you got 36,000 followers, and everyone's like, oh, he's talking about 36,000. Whatever you want to call it, George, you guys, look, am I all over Google? Am I all over everything? People are, all they're talking about is, I'm like the bad boy of 90 Day Fiance. He's a womanizer. He's filed bankruptcy 4 times. He's and then accused me of criminal charges. There's no freaking criminal charges against me. They create all sorts of crazy stuff. How can you be a high school competitive soccer coach, a respiratory therapist, and do a TV show on TLC and not pass the background?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you can't work in a hospital. That's like the most extensive background.
All racialized, and I got crazy girls. If there's, let's just say, if I had to put a number down on, let's just say I banged 50 girls since my ex-wife in the last 10 years. That'd be a fair number, right? Let's say, I'm not bragging. Let's just say it was 40 or 50. I had a stroke. I can't fucking remember. It's like 40, 50, somewhere around there.
Where'd you think?
I was with the same woman for 25 years.
Yeah.
The first girl I slept with was Venezuelan after my ex-wife. I couldn't get it up the first 2 times because I had anxiety performance because I never slept with anybody else.
Oh my God.
She's like,
wow,
baby, you got the problem down there? I'm like, no, I don't got no problem. Like, I was mind freaking myself out. Like, that's the way it was. So when I said I was like a kid in a candy store, yeah, I was having a lot of fun. I wanted to hook up with all sizes, all shapes, all colors. No discrimination. The bigger, the smaller, the taller. I want to chop that tree down if she was 6'4".
I mean, there is nothing wrong with playing the field. You know, if you're single and everybody is aware that you're just looking to have a good time, I don't see a problem with people having a good time.
The thing is, I'm not bragging about that. I've come full circle. I fell in love with Liz hard, and I feel like karma is a bitch. Like, all the girls I get over, I don't know, can you use curse words on live or no?
Sure. They don't like it, but you can.
It came back to bite me in the ass in a hard fucking way, man. Like, I got it back. I feel like my karma last year was the stroke, Liz coming back into my life, fucking me over, and there's more to the story than me coming on strong. Like, yes, I did come on strong because I fucking love this girl. I've been in love twice, you know, and I fucked up.
yeah.
So one more thing.
Now, I want a relationship, and I'm open to it. And if I have the chance to be with Tiffany, I would give my best effort. I don't have a passcode on my phone. If I was with her, she can look through my phone all day long. I would hide nothing.
Yeah.
So one more thing. I saw that you're going to be hanging out with Dr. Carter.
Yes.
What's up with that? Friendship? Something more?
I mean, listen, I mean, she's hot. I would be, no, listen, I think the world of her. Let me back up. She is very beautiful, but I would hate, we've developed a really close friendship. I would hate, like, I don't even think she'd entertain it. We've never flirted with each other or like past that, but I think we're like brother and sister. I'll flirt with her and stuff and I'll say things, but honestly, I would never even jeopardize it because I love her so much. You remember, I don't know if you guys know, I had a sister that died in a car accident at 29. Her name was Renee. I named my daughter after her, right? And I've never had another sister. I think she's the closest thing to a sister I've had, and then we've had this bond since then, and I would never want to jeopardize that. Like, she's really, and we're both in healthcare. I'm an RT, she's a physician. We have a lot of things in common, and I can seek her counsel a lot of times because I'm going through a lot. Like, I'm not, listen, I'm, you know, I had this stroke, I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety, I'm dealing with financial hardship. People don't understand, yeah, I fucked up. Like, my finances are a wreck. Like, I know that. They're like, oh, he's in a nice house. It's all financed. I did an FHA loan. I got 2.5% interest rate. I didn't barely put any money down on. They're not going to kick you out of your fucking house.
Yeah.
And my cars, I got 2 vehicles, electric and a Jeep. They're going to take one of them. I'm going to keep the Jeep.
Yeah.
So I'll keep my car and I'll keep the Jeep. What are you going to do? I was entertaining disability, but I think I'm going to look at other things. I'm just trying to figure out what that is, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Take the time to figure everything out. Don't make any rash decisions.
That video when I was in the car, I had a nervous breakdown, guys. I fucking lost it, man.
Yeah.
There was a day that I had that breakdown in the car. I was either going to kill myself or I was going to better myself from that situation. That's the truth.
And you did. And don't ever go down that road.
Every fucking credit card I had. I couldn't get a fucking hotel. I couldn't do anything. I had to beg for fucking money, and I got $550. And people want to rake me and humiliate me and make me feel like shit for that.
Yeah.
I made stupid mistakes. I've always done that. I've never been accountable. Listen, okay, you want to keep rubbing it in my face? Say what you want. I'm still human and I still have feelings, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think
it takes a lot to ask for help. It takes a lot to admit.
No,
it takes a lot to.
That point was a hard point for me. I was either going to better my situation and figure out what I'm going to do, or I was going to hurt myself.
Well,
I chose to try to do, you know what I mean?
Glad you didn't do anything to hurt yourself.
So I'm glad that you had people that reached out and that helped you, because I think it's important that we recognize that mental health is a serious crisis that the world is going through right now. And I'm sick of the stigma around it. And I'm glad that people reached out to you. They sent you what they needed to send you to get home.
I've had a couple sessions with a friend of mine that provides counseling, and I've done that. And I'm not even in a bad place. People think because I'm erratic and because I'm raw and I'm honest, like me talking about bringing Liz through with a coyote through the border, people wouldn't say that, but I admit it. Now, I wouldn't mention that if she did come to the border. I do it.
Right.
Do it. I've always been the type of guy I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. I do a lot of crazy stuff. But listen, that's me. You can't fault me for being honest, you know? And I got crazy girls trying to come back in my life, trying to be relevant, creating false narratives about me and everything else. Do you get the feeling I bullshit you guys?
No. I don't feel like you lie to me. I feel like sometimes you tell me a little more than you should, honestly.
Then people, the bloggers and trollers, trying to create things that aren't there. I take ownership on 95% of it. The 5% is sensationalized. It's just propaganda. It's crap. It's just like politics. They take something and they run with it and twist and contort it and everything else.
Yeah.
Any
All right.
Real quick for the fans before I go?
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, type them in before Scott goes. I'm going to try to get Dr. Carter in here. I think she was in here earlier. I'm going to try to get Dr. Carter in. Cara, if you have your other phone, can you reach out to Dr. Carter and see if she wants to join? All right, so what did we see here? Scott doesn't lie. Well, Mark says you don't lie. Mark says you tell the truth.
Yeah.
He deletes videos after he posts them. Is that true?
Well, yeah. Some of the stuff, it's not like I'm hiding it. I guess I could repost it, but sometimes I get in a negative place when I post something, and I'm like, that's not the image I want portrayed of myself. I want to always be positive and constructive, and I have knee-jerk responses. Like that guy from UK, Mad, whatever. What's that guy's name?
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Off sometimes, but then I just posted a video to him today. I was like, hey man, nothing but love, happy 4th of July. And you know, I get impulsive sometimes and I just do things. And then I look at my content and I always try to be positive. And then when I'm getting negative, I'm like, I gotta take that out. You know what I mean?
All right. Oh, hey, April. April's in here. Okay, so
I also think there's a lot of, things that you said that you posted and then TLC said, you really can't say that. So you had to take it down. And it wasn't hiding from you.
Yeah, that's probably some of the...
Sometimes get the call from the gods, and they me, and they say, hey, you can do this, you can't do that. And I always try to conform, and I always stay within. I don't want to breach the NDA, because working for TLC has been a great experience, and the documentary. And who knows, maybe they'll have me on future projects. Who knows? We'll see.
All right. Yeah. So do you still talk to your ex-wife? Heidi wants to know.
Oh, my ex-wife?
Yeah.
We're cordial with each other. Yeah. And we were together. Her name was Liz too, and we were together 25 years.
Oh, that's excellent. All right. And would you do the show again if you were asked? Tom wants to know.
I would. I love the experience. It was great. I loved, you know what the best thing about all of it was? Okay, the production teams were cool, like they were awesome. My EP, Tara, she was freaking awesome. I love her to death. And but the coolest thing of all of it is, for me, is not like the trollers and the bloggers, that's the hard part. But when I go to the grocery store and you get those TLC fans, and they just come up to me and give me the big, they go, can I hug you? Am I allowed to hug you? I'm like, yeah, you can hug me. And they give me the big hug, and they'll say, oh my God, Sky, I love you. And the weird part too is, like, if I just met you, George, and we never knew each other, you'd have small talk and we transition to getting to know each other. But that's the weird part. When you meet these fans, they feel like they know you so well, they just come up to you and say, you know, I had to have surgery yesterday. They had to biopsy my liver, and they had to do this and this and this. And I talked to my doctor, and he said I should do this. What do you think, Scott? And by the way, my husband hasn't been feeling well, and I came to the store to get some this and that and the other. It's this, they know me for years. That's the weird part. And I'm like, yeah. That's kind of an adjustment, because they feel like they fall in love with your, I hate to say character, because it's me, but they fall in love with this person. They see 8-10 minutes of a 45-minute episode.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a family. Like, it really is. It's a family. People feel like they grew up with you. When they see you on the show, they literally welcome you into the family. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Anything else? You got any more questions? Or the fans good?
I think we're good. All right, so we're gonna connect. I'm gonna talk to you later on tonight, and we're gonna come up with a time, and I'll post time for tomorrow so everyone knows when you're gonna be on. Because I feel like you still have a little bit you want to talk about.
Yeah, a little bit. No, but you know, I just gotta tread carefully, because.
Or maybe not tomorrow. Maybe we'll hope let time pass. Yeah, let's let some time pass after the show is over, and then So yeah, thanks for coming on. Always love having you on. We're gonna go in and ask Dr. Carter to join. So we're gonna ask her how she feels about you, because I know that's your sister.
Oh God. hey, tell me one thing. I told her this before. She said, once you go black, you don't go back. I said, once you go white, never felt so right.
Oh wow.
People are gonna like, I can't wait. You're gonna see messages right now. Creepy, vomits. All right, guys, be good. Bye.
All right, bye, Scott. All right. Let me see if Dr. Carter, there she is. I feel unworthy. Do I call her Dr. Carter? I feel like I should call her Doctor, right? Hello, Doctor.
Hi, you guys.
Hi.
So Scott's wild.
How should we address you?
April is fine. You don't have to address me by doctor.
Okay, April. So we just had Scott on. It's really always hard to be the follow-up person from Scott. Scott's a lot of energy.
Yes, he has a lot of energy.
So we saw the episode tonight, and unfortunately, it looked like not good news for you and Valentine. So unfortunately, it's not happily ever after. But how are you doing? How are you doing after that transition?
You know, I'm doing well. Valentine and I have continued to communicate, and we're good. He's good. I think that for me, I just needed a little bit more than he was able to provide, and some things that weren't showed on the show. I mean, it was a big story to tell. Yeah. But we had struggles before then, and some of it is about, you know, his ability to. I always wanted to see him do better, because I feel like he has so much potential. And when you don't see someone take up on that potential, it kind of just makes you really sad and just not feel good about the whole situation. And so there were so many things around, not just money, but just seeing him not wanting to fulfill his potential, and just being okay with going without or asking others for it. And that it just sort of really weighed on me. And by the time we got to filming, it was just so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I can see that because you're a
Yeah.
very successful woman. You did not get to where you are by accepting whatever was available around you.
Right, right. And I had offered to start him a business and do this and do that. And, you know, you don't see that person, you know, act on it. You just ask yourself, well, you know, like, why, you know? And it was explained to me, you know, the Dominican culture and the Dominican men by multiple people. And eventually I just had to accept that, you know, you can't help everybody.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes people are comfortable exactly where they are in life, and
Yeah.
they don't want to change. Like, people are so scared of change. It's insane to me how much they will go out of their way to avoid change because they're just so comfortable in what they're doing. And
Right.
what kind of business did you want to help him open? Did it have to do with the gym?
He asked for me to open a gym, but he wanted $20,000, and I was like, nah, I don't think I can't do that. So my idea for him, so he's a singer. So a lot of people don't know that, and that was supposed to be displayed on the show.
Oh.
And I had him set up with the producer, and I was going to pay to get his first few tracks produced and get him set up in a DR to start, you know, singing. And I know the owners of the hotel in Sosua, and they were going to allow him to sing there a few nights a week.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wow.
He didn't want to do it.
So the fact that they were filming and he never brought up the music is weird. That was such a good opportunity, right?
I brought it up, we had it set up, but he quit the show, so.
Oh, so it was going to. So,
Yeah.
okay, does he sound good?
He sounds amazing.
Really?
Wow.
He sounds
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, he has an extremely beautiful voice, extremely.
Oh, wow.
And I was willing to help him, you know, explore that talent and get discovered and get a couple tracks produced, but he didn't feel that, you know, was for him.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. So we met your family on the show, and how did they feel about Valentine's? I feel like they had some reservations. So, like, how did they feel about you going? Oh, Valentine. I'm sorry, Valentine. How did they feel? Because they had reservations, especially your sisters. Like, they were just like, what? You're going where? To be with who? So, like, were they encouraging or discouraging? Like, how did that go?
I think that what was aired was probably the better version of what they actually said. Yeah, I did get chewed out a little bit because that's just not what my family, that's just not the type of person my family sees me with. And they don't want me taking care of somebody and someone leeching off of me. And they had a lot of things to say, but I'm glad they kept it PG for the show.
But
so being
go ahead.
Honest, when you first came on, I was like, holy crap, this girl, go girl. She has got everything going on. I wish I had half the accomplishments. Aww. And then after you were with his family, I was like, what the hell is wrong with her? Were you really like actually mean to his family, or is that just the way TLC portrayed it?
No, it's not. And he and I made a deal that we were going to be exciting, we were going to be animated and dramatic, but at the end of the day, we were going to always apologize to each other. That was the deal. So he apologized to me and I apologized to him. He said a lot of horrible shit that was not aired, but it's fair game. That was what we agreed to. So we apologized to each other and we were fine. But even after, of course, that day I apologized, but you have to think that I was with his family for the entire day. We filmed the entire day, morning, afternoon, and evening. We had a blast, actually. It was really fun. I didn't bring cleaning supplies. That wasn't my idea. I can't say, you just have to put it together. But no, we had a blast. We had a lot of fun. But it wasn't until January when I was doing my pickups where I was like, I kind of think they're going to show this a little differently. And so I texted them and I was like, listen, I'm saying things, but I need you to know that I'm sorry. Like, I know you said stuff. I want you to know this is what's being said, and I'm really sorry. I don't know exactly how it's going to come out, but I just need you to know that it's okay. And if it's okay, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, no, it's okay. When you do it, fine. And then when the show aired, I was like,
I'm
Right.
so glad you
I was
cleared.
like, oh fuck, oh my god, shit. So I text him. I text his sister. I was like, I'm so sorry. I did not know, or I missed something. Like, what happened? And they were like, they kind of like really brushed it off. And they were like, no, it's just the show. It's just, no, we're fine. We're, no, like, just chill. Like, you're good. And I posted those texts on my page actually, and of course they made me take it down. But no, when I say he's fine, he's fine.
And his
Okay,
family.
If he wasn't
I'm so glad
fine,
you brought that up because I was like,
no,
I was dumbfounded.
no. If
It was
he was not fine, then it would have been a very different story.
Okay.
But he was
Okay.
fine
Well,
that
thank you.
day. He was fine at the follow-up when I checked on him. I even checked on him today, and I was like, look, the show has finalized. We've seen all the scenes. I'm sorry it had to end that way, but there were themes that were beyond what you saw that is just because that was the second time he disappeared when I went to DR, and I was like, no.
Oh.
Well, thank you for clearing that up because that puts everything into perspective.
So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
cool.
no problem.
You're cool with his whole family, right? Everybody is good, right?
Oh, they're good. Valentine. Now you got me saying Valentine. No, Valentine is fine. We've hit some hiccups recently, but it has nothing to do with the show. It's just about like
Got it.
money and stuff. Yeah.
Got it. DeeDee, jump in.
Do you have any other questions I can clear up, or?
Can you
The
ask
only
her
thing,
what the doctor?
the only thing that I want to talk about with you is, at first, I was like, okay, yeah, April, she's nice and everything. But when you, like me, I grew up in Mexico, and how, especially, how you were at his mom's house, what they were showing, saying that the bathroom and then spraying all this stuff. And then, it's that right there. I was like, why would she do that? That's so disrespectful. Because the bathroom at his mom's house, that's a bathroom compared to other places that I've been to. Like, if you were to have been to went to Everton's mom's house, Jordan and Everton,
Oh, yeah.
they pretty much, she has a hole in the ground. And and I get the anxiety, I get the OCD, I get all that because I have both as well. But that, to me, I was like, who does she think she is to judge people like that? Because, no matter where you come from, you shouldn't judge, because they have their culture, we have our culture. And that just really, I was like, you know what? I don't even like April no more, because that hit home to me, because it's like you were judging me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm from Louisiana. We have hurricanes. We lose power. We lose water. So the bucket and the toilet thing is not new to me. Okay, that happens here where I'm from, but the scene had to happen. It had to happen. Did I have to use the restroom? No. But will it get you talking about it? Yes. So we had to introduce the scene just so they could show the restroom, because we knew that it would get you talking about it. And so I think people forget the reason for the show is to entertain, is to bring about ratings. And he and I knew that scene was coming. You think I don't know what the house looked like? The house, I FaceTime him many times. I know exactly what the house looks like. I'm very aware of it. But that's what gets people talking about the show. So in order for me to introduce or pull the scene in, I needed to ask to go to the restroom, and they needed that response. We shot that scene over and over several times
Wow.
until you got something exciting. And the only thing I could do was apologize. I know what a bucket. I'm from Louisiana. Yeah, that's not new to me. I used to live in the Caribbean. I trained there. I'm very familiar with what it looks like there. So I've traveled to over a dozen countries. I've seen a lot. And again, I used to live out of the country, so that's not new to me. But I think people get so emotionally just driven with these shows, and you're forgetting that this is about ratings.
Yeah.
You're judging
Yeah.
people on this show, and you don't know them. With all due respect, you don't know me. You do not, and you don't know anybody on this show. You know a character. Everybody on this show has a character.
Yep. That makes.
I mean, I understand now, because when you made that statement, I was like, well, she travels pretty frequently to other countries, and I know that she knows what the bathrooms would look like in other countries. So I kind of had my feeling like, I don't think this is exactly how she would react to it.
I go to Norway 4 to 5 times. You know, I've been there 4 or 5 times, and I was planning to go this month, but I'm taking my niece and nephew to Greece. And I go to this place called Grimstad, Norway. I go all the time. And I know some people that live there. Well, his house, there's no plumbing. And so when I went the very first time, this was many years ago, I called my dad. I said, Dad, the toilet is just a hole. You sit your ass on it. There's no flush. You just piss and shit. You throw your tampons. It all goes in this hole. Dad, there's no flusher. And he's like, well, that's interesting. I said, and Dad, after like 2 or 3 years, this shit turns into like, you know, and my buddy takes it out and he fertilizes the yard with it. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And it, you know, and I've learned no matter what you do in that toilet, it never stinks.
Really?
So anyway, no, it never does. Like you can shit all you want and it won't stink. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just a hole that goes far down into the ground. So I've seen a lot of different toilets, okay, from different places. And that one was not even on the radar.
Got it.
Okay,
Also, I grew up in Baton Rouge. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lake Charles, born and raised.
No way. That's crazy. Okay. I've been there many times.
Yeah. We lost water. Actually, we just had a major hurricane, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, you know, that was just wild.
Okay.
I know.
Our question. So, did Valentine know that was your ex-boyfriend that you're business partners with? Or was that just a whole?
No. Well, he did not know, and I was not allowed to tell him until we filmed. So.
Okay.
And they could not show his response because it was offensive.
Okay.
Got it.
I think a lot of people on here would find his response offensive, and I don't want to like throw him under the bus for that, because what he said was slightly colorist. I mean, it wasn't slightly, it was. But I think that Dominican people, there's still division in DR, you know, where light-skinned Dominicans look at dark-skinned Dominicans very differently.
Yeah.
They see them as inferior. And his response very much reflected that. And I didn't understand that until someone explained it to me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to show him some grace and try to understand like why Dominican people feel that way. It's not right way, but this is very much ingrained into their culture and how they see like people of color.
Wow.
Right.
I just have one more question.
Yes, because I have to get to the
yeah, I know you're at work. So is there a special person in your life right now? Are you seeing anyone? Are you allowed to say that? Or are you just focusing on yourself?
I'm just focusing on myself and my business right now. The show brought about a lot of stress, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, my business is fine and my practice is fine, but it was just a lot of unexpected stress from the show. And I just didn't see it coming. So I needed time to just sit back and just reflect for myself, you know, and process everything that was happening.
So would you do another show, or you're like one and done? It's his experience and that was it.
I don't know. I lost so much money doing the first show, like way more than 10K. So when I stopped talking about money, it's because like I lost a lot of money doing the show. And so would I do another one? I don't know. I would really have to talk to my financial advisor to see if it makes sense for me. And I have to assess the risk, right? Because some people that do the show, they don't really have a lot to lose. Well, I do. So I have to really assess that risk and make sure that it's okay and safe for me to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting myself too far back financially by doing the show.
Yeah. You do have a lot. You have businesses, you're a doctor, your name holds a lot of respect and integrity. Yeah. So reality TV can be damaging, you know? So I understand assessing that risk because you worked so hard to get to where you are. You don't want to lose it because you did the wrong TV show.
Right.
Right. Right. So you got to be really careful because you can't control how you're portrayed in the show. Like, it's amazing what can happen with a couple edits. That's all I can say. So,
right. Context is everything.
Thank you for clearing stuff up. Thank you for giving your side. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Did you guys have any other questions? Valentine is doing well. I'm going to reiterate that. If he can speak English, I was invite him to be on a call, but it would be a little stressful for him.
You guys are still talking?
We're on good terms.
Good.
We had, like I said, we had a little bit of a fallout because of something unrelated to the show.
Okay.
Guys, any questions you have for Dr. Carter? She has to get back to taking care of her patients. So type them up so we can ask her before she has to go back to work. She's a very busy doctor.
George, where are you now? Are you in?
I'm living in Orlando. I'm in Orlando.
Oh, you're in Orlando.
Yeah, I was in Ohio, and I sold that house, and now I'm in Orlando.
Okay, yeah, awesome. We've already messaged. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be out that way on. I can't remember the name of the show. I'll let you know.
Yeah, DM me. Let me know. We can probably meet up.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? I am really transparent, super open. I'm not going to say anything that's damaging to Valentine, though, so please don't ask me to do that. I'm very respectful of him and his family. When are you coming to South Africa? I don't know. I don't have any plans. My books are pretty full. I am going to Greece. I'm taking my family there, and I'm going to Israel to go to the Holy Land and Canada. So I don't think I have time for South Africa this year, but I would love to go next year.
Okay, so let's address the burning question everybody has. We know the answer, but what's the relationship between you and Scott?
Oh. You know, Scott and I, early on, all the casts are really close. It's kind of like a unique experience. And so Scott is no different. He's like family, you know. I don't see a relationship brewing there. I think that he and I are in just a very different place in life. And I just think that, you know, he's like family. Yeah. We're not dating. I don't know.
That's more or less
the question.
That's exactly what he said. He said you're like a sister.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
everybody that's joining later is kind of going, what's going on? So I just wanted them to hear it from your mouth.
Yeah, no, it's like we're family. I mean, I got my own shit, you know, issues.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got his own. Trust me, I have my own shit. Yep. My life is not perfect.
Yep, I get it.
Dude,
all right.
What do you do to get your OCD with germs under control? You know, I don't really. Not a lot of people know I have a germ problem, except like my close family. But like friends and stuff, like it's not like what you think. Like I don't go to people's houses and, you know, clean up. I don't do that. So you wouldn't really know if you weren't like my partner or like my family who saw me grow up and was like, why is she taking her shoes off in the house? Or, you know,
I'm OCD too,
really
though.
Yeah.
I'm OCD. I clean my kitchen 5 times a day. Like I totally understand what it's like because I'm like that.
Yeah, I throw everything in the dishwasher and be like, I pray that it gets cleaned.
Yes.
So yeah, no. No, I'm not with Valentine. He is a free man. I saw y'all ladies up in the comments. Y'all go ahead and have fun.
Have at it, ladies. Have at it.
You should probably speak Spanish though. Like I'm just being honest. All right, you guys, it was a pleasure. I am going to run. We have so many patients to see. It was fun. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're always welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Bye.
Y'all take care. Bye.
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 All right. I think Matthew's the last one. Then we're gonna wrap this up. We've been on here forever. Thank you guys for sticking with us all this time.
Yeah.
We've been on here forever. Matthew, I think you wanted to join for a second. Let me see if I can find you to invite, and then we're gonna wrap this up like we've wrapped up this season, right? The season is wrapped up. Hello.
I've got just a minute. My hair is not looking good, so.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
we know the process. We know
Listen,
the process for your hair.
I try to get it to look good before I come on here, but yeah, I just got just a minute. I just got just a minute, but it's over. I'm like free at last. It's over. We can move on to bigger and better things.
How
Yeah,
much time? on the
You're
visa?
a social media person, so staying off social media and not doing that is probably destroying you right now.
Well, this show is completely different than any kind of content that I've ever produced. Most of the content that I produce is very uplifting. It's very focused on mental health, putting a smile on people's face, which is, kind of the whole dilemma about being on the show, right? Is that you don't really have control over the content, right? So it can be a little.
Speaking of that, how do you feel you were portrayed? Do you feel like it's accurate to who you are, or do you feel like it's a stretch?
I will just, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just going to let people, watch the show and make up their own minds. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you want to know me, then it's not hard to find me online. I stream on Meet Me. I'm on Instagram. So I'm not going to comment on anything about what the show did or how I was portrayed, but I know who I am, and the people who know me know who I am. And if you want to know who I am, it's not that hard to come, figure it out and get to know me.
Yeah.
So
is there any news, visa news that you might be able to share with us?
The only thing I'll say, and I think that this is one thing I would like to give context to. A lot of people kind of, not a lot of people, but some people kind of gave me crap about the visa, but I don't think people understand is we applied for the visa in January. And right before Carnival, which was in February, I got word from my attorney, because when you apply for the visa, you apply for the K-1 visa first through what's called an I-29F form, which is the initial application to petition for an alien visa.
Yes.
And you don't know where that's going to go. You don't know where it's going to be routed. And right before I went to Brazil, I learned that it was routed through the Texas Processing Center, which, if you know anything about immigration, is one of the longest wait periods for a visa processing. Yep. So, and people gave me, people can form their own opinions about how I handled the situation. I handled the situation the best I could. I did not feel like that was just kind of something I sent over text. Hey, this could take twice as long as we thought. The only experience we ever had with the visa, which was my friend, I served in the Peace Corps for several years. And my friend who also served in the Peace Corps, he met his fiance while serving in the Peace Corps, and it took them about a year. So that was our only frame of reference was, my friend. So when we found out it was twice, I'm literally going on this trip in a few days. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I handled it the best I thought. I told her, a little bit later into the vacation, I didn't want to hop off the plane with all these cameras pointing at me and be like, hey babe, it's great to see you. I hope we have a great week, by the way. Boom.
Yeah.
So, but no, the visa is going to take a while, but, I think Anna made it very clear. I made it very clear we're both in this for the long haul. So
well, that answered my next question, so I don't even need to answer it. I don't even answer it. I know. Go ahead.
And I would like, if I can, say one more thing. Yeah. A lot of people gave Anna so much crap about, oh, she just wants to come to America. She just wants to come to America. But you guys, because she got upset about the visa, but you need to think about what being upset about the visa entails. It's not just, oh, I have to wait 2 more years coming to America. This is 2 more years of her not getting to be with the person that she loves. This is 2 more years of a relationship behind a camera. This is 2 more years of us only being in each other's physical presence for a week at a time, a few times per year. So like, if everyone's quick to judge her because of the way that you see things on the TV, to say, oh, she just wants to come to America, but y'all don't see the hours and hours of conversation that we've had day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. You know, there's a lot of love there that you did not get to see because there's such limited time on this show to show 6 couples, you know?
It's not that I didn't believe that you guys don't love each other. I will admit I'm the first to say, I was probably the first one that said, she just wants to come to America, because every time they showed her, she says, this is my lifelong dream. This has always been my lifelong dream. This is what I've wanted since I was a kid. This is my lifelong dream. And they kept putting that into the show.
Right.
So anyone that has judged that is basing it upon her saying that's
right.
That's all she's ever dreamed.
And that's what I keep, see, I'm not one of these people who I'm gonna like lift behind the curtain and let you guys see
right.
what's going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
Other cast members can do what they want. I'm gonna stay true to, you know, what I agreed to, which was to do the show, and everyone can make up their own minds. But what I can tell you is that there's a lot that you don't see. It's
right.
like, is that we film for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and you see maybe 4 or 5 minute segment of that. So I'm not going to say anything about, you know, what's happening behind the curtains, but what I will say is there's so much more. And that's what I kept trying to tell people, is like, there's so much more that you didn't get to see. There's like, we were even shocked how little of our story was shown. And it's not really the show's fault, you know, because like, again, we have, you know, 6 couples. The show's only an hour, plus you have to factor in commercial break, you know, and there's only so many episodes. So there was a lot of stuff, a lot of like time, like there was a conversation, a really deep, meaningful conversation Anna and I had right after the carnival day, where all these guys were hitting on her and Anna kept shutting them down, where I pulled her aside and I said, where I thanked her, and I was like, you know, this is the first time I've ever felt safe in a relationship, and I appreciate you standing up for us. None of that made it onto the show, you know?
Right.
So there's just a lot you didn't see.
Yeah, I understand that. But then the next burning question everybody wants to know is, how the hell was 6 p.m. too late for a 36-year-old man?
All right, I'm so glad you asked this question. Okay, first of all, I had just arrived in Brazil the day before. All right, I had been traveling for over 20 hours with between flights, layovers. My flight got delayed several hours. So we got to Brazil. I had a few hours of sleep, and then we're up and we're partying. And y'all saw like 3 to 5 minutes of that.
Right.
But we were partying like 3 to 5 hours.
Right.
Plus, we had a all-night party, a 10-hour party that started at 9 p.m. that same day, or that same night. It went from 9 p.m. till 7 in the morning.
Okay.
So I told Anna, let's go take a nap, because we've been out there for 3 to 5 hours. We have to go out for this all-night party in like just a few hours.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so, and then after that, after this all-night party, we're going to get a few hours of sleep and then party again.
That makes sense.
It was a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. Isn't there a time difference as well? Because didn't you lose some time when you got there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I left Friday. I literally worked all day Friday. I left the airport. I left to go to the airport, and I had about 2 hours at the airport, a 10-hour flight. Then I had 6-hour layover, and then I had which was delayed almost 2 hours. And then I got to Brazil. I had a few hours of sleep, and then we start filming the party stuff. And I was like, yeah, I was a little tired.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we were all wondering that, because I was like, 36 is not old.
No,
I was like,
it's so funny. Is like, I'm usually the one saying, let's stay out, let's do more. But like, yeah, I was exhausted, but y'all didn't get to see why I was exhausted.
We were just trying to figure it out. We're like, it's 6 p.m.
Yeah. It makes it more interesting, though, if you don't know, right? It's like, why is this 36-year-old can't keep up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right, DeeDee. DeeDee, you're quiet. What do you want to say?
No, I was just listening. I do have a question. I do have a question for you. And maybe it's because I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance and I've seen a lot of couples, but by us hearing, what we were able to see, Anna always talking about how she wants the green card.
Yeah.
How Anna wants the
I don't know what happened, but we can't hear him. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear you, Matthew.
Oh yeah, we lost sound. I thought it was just me. He left. Maybe he had to go.
I guess what I was going to ask is how would he feel if, because that's all we heard was she wanted the green card. That's all we heard.
Yeah.
Never once we heard about how she wanted to have a future or a life in the United States with Matthew. So how is he going to react once she gets over here? Everything's good. She gets what she comes for, and then she ups and leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
There's quite a few of them.
I would love to hear his answer to that. I would have loved to. Oh, he had to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, he had to go. Unfortunately, he had to go. But, yeah, that was a good question. I did want to know, worst case scenario. What if the worst fears are right? What if she really did want to come here and get the green card? Because he mentioned those concerns in the season. He's like, well, what if she just finds somebody else and she just doesn't want to wait for me or doesn't want to be with me? That I did want to ask or hear the answer to that. How would that make him feel? Because I know that's not what he believes, but we can't predict the future. We can't predict how people feel. We can only assume we know what's going on. Oh, he says it's not going to happen.
All right.
Not going to happen. All right. We have our answer. Matthew says it is not going to happen. There's no chance. They are in it for the long haul. All right, so we got 2 happily ever afters this season. Juan and Jessica and Matthew and Anna. So hopefully we'll see on a season 2 when Anna gets actually over here and when Juan actually gets over here, and we'll see how they transition into being U.S. citizens. Because I know that's a whole nother thing, because Juan is going to have to learn how to deal with living in Wyoming. And I'm an American, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I ain't living in Wyoming for nobody. I don't love anybody that much. It's never going to happen. So I would love to see how that transition works. And then Juan was talking about how he wanted Jessica to be more stern with the boys.
Yeah.
So hopefully on season 2, we're going to see how that works out.
That scares me. For anybody to come in, I realize that they have a new baby together, but for anybody to come in and correct how you've been parenting is going to be a very hard adjustment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with that because if you're not the father of my child, you don't say nothing to my child. Plain and simple.
But it's going to get complicated because he's not the father of those, but he's going to be the father to David, or is the father to David. So it's like he is the father, right? Like it's going to get super complicated, and I just hope that they're strong and this doesn't, cause any inner issues in their marriage. Well, they're not married yet, but I know they're going to be. But like I want them to work out because he overcame so much. Yeah. But a question in somebody's parenting, that can be the end of any type of relationship. Like, especially a mother who gave birth to that child and she knows what's right for that child, telling her she's not doing something right. I'm not doing that. I don't want to.
And has been doing it all along by herself this whole time. So
when it comes to mamas, I was mama and daddy. I raised my kids by myself. So so if someone were to try to step in and tell me how to raise my child, well, first of all, where were you whenever, the long nights, where were you you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't come and tell me how to try to raise my children, because you will not win that fight. Yeah. Hands down, you won't.
Right. All right, guys, this was fun. Yeah. So this was the tell-all that TLC didn't want us to have. So we took it. We just took it from them. We did it. We got to find out from.
Nice, guys. I was nice. Okay, I had to bite my tongue a couple of times. That's why I got quiet. I wanted to let somebody have something, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice tonight. So
we're known for just saying how it is. We're not gonna bully anybody, but if you did something stupid, I've said this before, if you did something stupid, we're gonna call you out on what you did, and that's just who we are. That's who we are as people. So if you come on the show, just know we're gonna call you out. We're not bullying you. We're not being mean. We just want to know what was going through your mind, you know,
Yeah.
when you did that. That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
All right, guys.
So
Thank you.
Other way next week, right?
Yeah, the other way next week. We'll be covering that, obviously. What
Yes.
else am I doing?
Hello.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. So this is season 3, Love in Paradise. So we'll be back for season 4, obviously, and hopefully we'll see Anna and Matthew and Juan and Jessica back. Everybody else, it's like they're not together. I mean, they could be back with somebody else,
Yeah.
right? Like Carlos could definitely be back with this new person in his life or whatever. We would love to see that. But this was a good season. I felt like it went by really, really fast. Thank you to my co-hosts, Cara and DeeDee, who watched it with me, talked about it with me, podcasted with me, and they've been with us this whole time, sharing their opinions, because, you know, my opinion isn't always right. And DeeDee and Cara are there to tell me, right? They're there to tell me. So that's what made it fun for us.
Yeah, because
we got to keep you straight, George.
Yeah, my opinion isn't always right. I've learned that the hard way. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, type in The George Mossey Show. Follow my co-hosts, DeeDee and Cara, as well. That's a must. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll talk to all of you guys really soon.
Bye.
Bye.